Mindset, a daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markle. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markle.
Hello and welcome back to Morning Mindset. Thank you once again for being a part of the Morning Mindset audience and for sharing this with your friends and family members and coworkers and children and everybody else who needs to hear a positive message in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. Remember, this is on demand and you can listen to it any time that you feel like it. Yes, indeed. This last weekend, I had an old friend come to visit. Now, not an old friend, not like from high school, but somebody that I've known for about 10 years or so, maybe a little longer. And he came into town this weekend. We spent some time together, and it got me thinking about friends. Now, this particular individual, I've known him, like I said, for about 10 years or so, and we see each other once a year, maybe once every 2 years, just depending on how our schedules are. But we're able to pick up right where we left off, just like we saw each other yesterday, just like we talked to each other yesterday. A few months ago, I actually had a phone call with a friend of mine, somebody that I went to high school with, and that's been a while. Yes, it has. And we spent about an hour on the phone talking, and it was, it was very easy and comfortable. And even though we hadn't seen each other for probably, 10 years or more. And that kind of friend is the friend that you want in your life, or at least I think it's the friend that you should foster. Now, just because you grew up with someone or just because you went to school with someone doesn't necessarily mean that they're a lifelong friend. I've gone to a couple of high school reunions. I went to high school reunions, and there were people that I went to school with, that I grew up with, that I knew when I was young. And you see them, and you do the quick catch-up, right? You do the what's going on in your life now. You talk about your marriage, you talk about your children, you talk about your job, what you're doing with your career, what they're doing with their career, whether they're married or divorced, whether their kids are grown or, at home, what have you. And then after about 10 minutes or so, you're done. You're out of common ground. You're out of things to talk about, because and the reason is just because you grew up with someone or went to school with someone doesn't mean they're going to be a lifelong friend. But I am very fortunate in my life to have a number of friends that even, it doesn't matter that we haven't talked in months, if we haven't talked even in years, when we get together, we can pick up just like where we left off, like we saw each other yesterday. How do you develop those relationships? That's a good question, because I know a lot of folks in my audience are younger people, and I'm sorry for you folks that are coming up in this current age, that are growing in this current age, because this current age filled with on-demand everything, on-demand television, on-demand food, on-demand shopping, 24-hour food, 24-hour everything, instant gratification that you want. And when you have that, how do you learn to develop lifelong friendships? I don't know. But one way is to be a good listener and to not make everything about you. Now, I've seen this not just in young people, but in people my age and maybe in their 30s and 40s, where people behave, and you can see by the way they treat others that everything in their life it's all about them. For instance, I'll give you a great example. When people show up late constantly, you have a scheduled time that everyone is supposed to be together, whether it's for a meal or for whatever, a gathering. And you have a person who constantly shows up late. Why are they constantly showing up late? Well, they're showing up late to everyone else is there, or most everyone else is there, but they're late. Why? Because only their life is important. Only what they are doing is important. What everyone else is doing, not that important. And you say, Paul, that's kind of judgmental. No, it's realistic. It's realistic. If you want friends, and I've talked about my relief valves before. A lot of these friends that are my lifelong friends are also my relief valves. I could call them on the phone and say, hey, I feel like jumping off the roof today. Can you convince me not to? But it also goes both ways. When we did the relief valve discussion, you need to be the person that also picks up the phone when somebody else feels like they're on the roof and they want to jump off and they want you to tell them, hey, give me a reason not to. And the truth of the matter is, most of the time you don't have to give them a reason. Most of the time when people, are calling you as a relief valve, they don't expect you to tick off, 3 valid reasons, bullet points. Here's the 3 bullet points why you shouldn't jump off the roof or why you shouldn't give up on humanity. Actually, what they want and what they need is for you to just be quiet and listen and maybe, chime in every once in a while. They need your ear. They need to know that they can talk to you and vice versa. You need to know that you can talk to them. It's not that difficult, but yet it is. Because in order to be a good listener, you have to be not selfish. You have to be not self-involved. One of the things that I learned from a mentor of mine, when he meets people for the first time, and this is kind of a cool little thing, he'll meet someone for the first time, and he won't ask them how they're doing or how their day is or, what have you. He'll say, if he's in this particular thing is in like trade shows or whatever, the person that I'm talking about is semi-famous in the industry. And when he meets someone new, he'll say, where's your home? Where's home? Or where's your home? And what that does, it gives the other person the opportunity to tell him not only where their home is, but to tell them something personal, and he listens. And that makes a direct, immediate connection with them. And that's just a little thing, but it's a little thing that can go a long way, and people will remember that. So if you want friends that last, if you want those lifelong friends, people that you could call, you haven't talked to them in years, and they call you up and you pick up, boom, right where you left off. Part of the way to do that is to be a good listener and to not always be worried about yourself, but genuinely listen to what other people have to say and make it not just about you, but about them as well. I hope for you, my hope for you is that you indeed do have friends that will last you a lifetime. And you don't need 1,000. You don't need 100. I don't have 100 friends that are lifelong friends. I probably have a dozen, maybe 20, and that's fine. Some people spend all their time trying to make everyone like them and make everyone their friend. Don't spend all your time trying to please everyone. Do what you can, build those relationships, and those relationships are the ones that are going to last. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's Morning Mindset. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are enjoying the Morning Mindset book. Morning Mindset, a 30-day plan for a more positive and productive life. And if you do not have that book yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because you can go to Amazon right now and get a paper copy. And if you really, really, really can't wait, you can go to Kindle and get a digital version and put it on your phone immediately. The book is called Morning Mindset, a 30-day plan for a more positive and productive life by Paul Markle. That's me. And I will talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markle, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.